So as we look at Saddiq Bey on the ball, I want to first highlight my biggest area of concern, and that's how quickly an offensive player is able to turn Saddiq's hips in these situations. So right here, ball 1-2 dribbles barely past the three-point line, and you can see that Saddiq has already flipped his hips and opened up that driving lane to ball, and then he's just not really able to use his strength now as he's turned his hips to stay in front. We'll show that later when he's able to stay square, how he's really able to hold his ground. Here against Pascal Siakam, again, a couple dribbles in, and now Saddiq has turned his hips. That driving lane is open. K does a nice job stepping in, taking a charge. Saddiq was able to push him off his line just a little bit. So that's one nice thing that he can do. But he's got to be better. Again, against Gary Trent Jr., hasn't even got to the three-point line. Saddiq has already opened up, and Gary Trent is able to get all the way to the rim. Nice block by Isaiah Stewart, but when we're just looking at Saddiq trying to hold his own on the perimeter. One final one here against Malcolm Brogdon. Keeps a couple more dribbles, but again, eventually Saddiq opens up, his hips are turned, and it lives that driving lane to the rim as he's able to push through there. Like Saddiq wasn't even able to keep him off the line right there. So that's one big thing he's got to work on. Another thing, I'll talk about him able to hold his ground in a lot of situations, but when he's on the move, he's not able to do that quite as well. As you see Martin drive baseline here, he's got Saddiq on the move. He's even got his chest to him. He's a little more squared up here, but eventually Martin's able to push through, and Saddiq lets him stay on that line, eventually opens up his hips and gives up the layup. Here he's going to see it against Scotty Barnes. So nice in transition here. We talked about the awareness in the next breakdown off ball, but Scotty Barnes is able to get him on the move. Again, hips are opened up, and Saddiq's not able to use his strength to hold him off from getting to the lane. So that's just one big area for me with Saddiq Bey, is able to keep his hips more square to the offensive player. Another one is on closeout. So here we'll see off an offensive rebound, kick out to Miles Bridges, and he's just not really able to close out and then stay in front at all on Miles Bridges' drive right there, give up a layup at the rim. And then here, off a kick out. Now, I will give him credit here. This is Buddy Hield. You want to run him off the three-point line, but Buddy's already driving, and Saddiq's not really able, as you see him kind of hop into that, not really able to change direction a lot. Does get back in contest. Like, you're going to get effort from Saddiq Bey. There's no question about that, but I do think his closeouts could be a little better. Now, let's get into the positives. All right, when he's able to keep his hips square and hold his ground. So Birch is trying to drive on him right now, and you see this is what Saddiq wants to do. For the most part, he stayed square. You can see he's starting to open up just a little bit, but he's able to hold him off and not let him get to the rim. Eventually, he gives up there, but he gets back in front, able to contest and force a miss. A tough shot there from Kim Birch. So we're starting to see a little bit better. I really like this rep from Saddiq Bey on Scotty Barnes, even though Barnes is going to end up finishing. Watch how, so here he gets his hips turned, but now he's going to square back up, and now he's able to use his strength. I think that's a tough shot from Scotty Barnes. We saw those from him where he was just able to make some awkward-looking tough shots, but that's a good rep from Saddiq Bey. This is even better here against Pascal Siakam. Watch how his hips never, ever turn. So here Pascal tried to take him. He's able to keep his hips square. Now he's able to use his strength, lean on him a little bit like he likes to do, and he forces the pass. So that's the kind of possessions you have to see from Saddiq Bey when guarding on the perimeter. And these are where, like, that one turned into a mid-post. This one's a mid-post. This is where I think he's most effective against guys, is when they try to take him to the mid-post. As you see Jalen Smith, again, Saddiq stays square the whole time, never really tries to test him, and then is able to contest the pull-up jumper, force a miss. So I do think there's some current concerns for him truly on the perimeter against perimeter players, but there's also some positives that he can bring as well.